With Sangdu officially being out into the game, and him being yet another powerful speed character that just oversaturates the attribute even further, bringing a brand new soul trait into the mix that actually helps buff the attribute, I must say, the speed attribute has never looked better than this, with a ton of powerful units, a ton of powerful farmers, and everything that it has compared to the other 4 attributes. So with that being said and done, play my intro. Thank you very much. Actually, play my...
お前のすべてを奪うものだ。お前たちの抱く希望も未来もすべて私のこの手で砕いてやる。さあ、新たな世界へ。ブリーチ、ブレイブソウルズ。
The speed attribute is, in my opinion, completely covered with every single killer, because if you guys take a look at what we have here, what do we have in terms of a Soul Reaper killer? Yachiru Unohana. And then we have ourselves Mila Rose, who is a plus 10 link slot potion character and by far the best out of the characters that we currently have right now compared to all the other attributes. We have ourselves an ultimate farmer that does very well in inheritance trials and epic rates, unmatched with his frenzy plus 1 60% berserker, 100% pure damage, and being able to farm both pots, droplets, and super pots. So we're pretty much set for that killer alone. Then Captain Killer, Yachiru Unohana, and then you have this Nelliel right here, who is a really good support unit for guild quests. What about Squad Zero, Macy, Holo? Look at this, we have ourselves another ultimate farmer that is basically Tensa, but with frenzy plus 2 and guaranteed plus 10 droplets. Like, this is literally what this character is. He even has the same kit. And then you have Sangdu coming in to the mix, who is by far, in my opinion, okay, spoiler already, second best speed unit in the game, right underneath Yachiru Unohana. So we're gonna rank this character shortly. Orihime, who got her value up increased significantly because of guild quests. You can use her everywhere else, and if you don't have the ideal booster unit, this character is always gonna be a unit to use. Ulquiorra has aged out, sadly. I don't think he's as strong as he once used to be. His soul bomb is still really good though, no doubt about that. And then a Ronker killer. This Uryu is still incredible, still great to use, and he's actually aged better over time because of the gauge. He just doesn't have the SP boost, but thankfully Sangdu actually fixes the problem should you guys decide to link him to Uryu in this kind of case in particular. Espada, Ulquiorra is still okay, but like, we do need another new Espada killer. He's aged out. I don't think he's gonna be too good in Nightmare difficulty. Human, okay, we've got nothing, but like, considering that Squad Zero and Human are literally in the same GQ rotation, guess who we have that we can basically use? Yeah, Macy, again. Quincy, we have ourselves this Toshiro right here, who is pretty much a must-have for guild quests, but I do think that we're going to be getting another better character, especially for the Nightmare difficulty. Like, his kit is nothing too crazy outside of guild quests, but like, we could essentially get something else. But Akon is going to be the buffer to Unohana and is going to help out with getting more damage to weakened enemies and gives out a permanent 20% strong attack damage. And the Shuhei, funny enough, is a link slot potion link, but he also is another plus 10 link slot potion character since he already has that built into him. Just no Havoc and non-full screen SA3 as well. So there's that to take into consideration. Stern Ritter killer, yeah, nothing good here, but you have Gantenbein, who is a link slot potion link, and then no affiliation killer, Macy and Uryu. Bro, I have never seen an attribute so stacked where all the killers are pretty much the best units in the game. Combined all of this together, it just is insane. And once again, Sangdu does give an actual buff to every single character that can inflict status elements, specifically Unohana and Macy, and can help out with other characters. For more info, I recommend checking out the video I did using Sangdu in co-op content, and as a link for a plethora of speed units. I even tackled on resurrected characters like Tenjiro, and Tenjiro just did a lot better compared to what he used to do in Soul Reaper Inheritance Trials. And here we are once again. This is the updated top 10 list that I did back in February to pretty much fix up the ones I pretty much fumbled, primarily Power and Hearts, which I felt were kind of, you know, a bit of a mess around. Oh yeah, Even Mind, which I kind of forgot about. But yeah, besides that, don't expect me to update this list again anytime soon. Like, I should be updating Power right now because of the new Toshiro, but look, let's leave it for like another video, right? Once we have gotten a bit more Power characters that can just, you know, fix up the attribute, then sure, I'll update the top 10 list for Power once again. But this is just gonna focus on speed because, look, adding in Sandu into the mix, like, bro, he's an easy number 2, and he's right behind Retsu. Look, let me just say this. If Sangdu had double status elements, which also included weakening, he would have been able to outdamage Retsu and be by far the hardest hitting character that we have in the game, potentially even surpassing this true Shikai Ichigo when he has Killer active, when you use the SA3, and just basically getting the best overall DPS with the strong attacks. I think this guy would have been able to do that. But just having Freeze, the difference is pretty much like night and day. He came close, but the crazy thing is that Sangdu is technically the very first ever Frenzy +3 character with the SP boost and having higher multipliers, which is what this 8th anniversary Ichigo should have been as a whole. And they just held back for no reason with this character. I hate to say this, but it's the truth. And it's not looking good for this guy at all, even though in Limit Break Request he has surprisingly gotten better for whatever reason. Like, he was doing better than my Max Transcended Yamamoto in both slot 2 and 3 for this month's Limit Break Request. I don't know why. They might be just, like, I don't know, trying to kill off characters with Frenzy +1 and 80% SP boost. But like, the point is, look at Speed. Speed literally has every killer covered, like I mentioned before. You are looking for a Soul Reaper killer to use, you have Retsu and Tensa to use, and they're just going to one-shot everything. Tensa is obviously going to be the weaker one because he just, you know, doesn't inflict status ailments, but like, he's still really good for co-op content and being able to farm pots, super pots, and droplets. Just not good in Guild Quest, and to some degree Limit Break Request, but if he has all the rules active, then he can be good. And then Holo Killer, look, you have Sangdu and Ulquiorra, who are just gonna cover that killer as a whole, and Sangdu just being the better character. Oh yeah, even Senjumaru too, with the fact that she's an ultimate farmer and doing what Tensa does. Yeah, it's just crazy. A Ronker Killer, you have Uryu. Okay, naturally he's kind of the weaker character of the bunch, even with the gauge, but Sangdu just helped him out even further. Now you can literally get 40% SP boost, and this character will just cook even harder, and he's already cooking. Like, you can still use this guy for Guild Quest, and he's not gonna joke around. Just doesn't have the Start Gauge, or the Gauge Rampage, or any of that, but he's still excellent. He's aged better than 7th Anniversary Ichigo as an actual anniversary character. No Affiliation Killer, you have this Macy right here, which is crazy. Ultimate Farmers, you have Tensa and Senzumaru. Plus 10 Link Saw Potions, you have Mila Rose. A NAD character, you have this Nelio. And then you have this guy right here who is actually good for ranged Quincy, but like, you guys get the point. Speed has everything stacked to the brim. Art, as you guys can see, has 2 Ultimate Farmers, although this Kaname is really weak and he's about to fall off. Aizen is still good, but he's starting to fall off. It's just the DPS that's kind of holding him back. He only has like, what, Frenzy +2 with 20% FSD. It's the kid that really helped him out. And then you have this Noel right here who is pretty much better than Aizen for Guild Quests and to some extent Limit Break Request, but her SA1 isn't really all that good, being the 18% shave. And yeah, and the killers, once again, Soul Reaper and Quincy. This, okay, no, he's Stern Reaper killer. You have this Ichigo right here. Arankar, Killgate, Paulo, Baruka, and Bruno. Arankar and No Affiliation. This Ichigo right here, like, Heart is definitely stacked, but not as stacked as Speed, as you guys can see right here. Mind has also gotten better with the characters that they've released so far, but it could use a bit more, definitely, because the only OP ones are Yuha and White. Nini and Asnot are good, they just have flaws to their kits, as not with the range collision kit, and Nini with the fact that she has only frenzy +1, no cooldown reduction upon activating the gauge. And then Technique is in a really wonky spot. Not gonna talk about this, and then Power is just shit. And if I were to give you guys my honest opinion, Speed does not need any more new characters. It doesn't. SP, everything else, it's good. It just basically beat the game. You have the entire list of Speed characters. You basically beaten all the Speed only content that you have in the game, and for Guild Quests, you're just gonna be cooking in every single area. Like, there's just no doubt about that. If I were to name one thing that we should get for the Speed attribute, honestly speaking, it would be a Super Link Saw Potion Link, just so that way we can make our characters better, and just, you know, being released primarily as a Link for mid-month, like, I would actually prefer that. But mainly a new normal attacking character, because NAD characters as a whole, they're not looking too good, and they've been kind of the same since Thousand Year Blower. Aizen was literally the only thing that they really done that just kind of made him really broken, by giving him a new NAD string, being 3 attacks being range collision, and then the last one being a beam, and having the 80% attack buff with increased status summon chance. I would like to see that for Speed, or any attribute, to be honest. It can be anyone, but like, if Speed gets a great normal attacking character, I would not mind that, but it needs to have Flurry +2, 80% attack buff, high bruiser, I want to say 60% bruiser, with that increased status summon chance, and most importantly, a new NAD string. If we're going to take into account range characters, okay, leave the first 3 attacks. It'd be like, you know, Lige Barrow's NAD, right? The last hit can be an 800 AoE attack in front. That would be really solid, and will help NAD characters to compete with SP characters, because right now, as it stands, SP characters are just the kings that you want to use for every single game mode, and NAD characters, they're pretty much mainly going to be used in Guild Quests now. Like, even in epic raids, just Aizen gets away with it because he has the attack buff, but that's it, really. And then the melee attacking characters, I don't know, just something to help him be a bit more viable and also be on the same level as the range characters. Like, I would not mind if, like, the first 3 hits were like 750, 750, 750 into like 900 AoE in front. That would actually be really good to have for melee attacking characters, like something that can help. Anywho, yeah, I've rambled long enough, and yeah, this was just a video to highlight how broken Speed is, and that we should not get any more characters. Let me know if you guys agree in the comment section down below. Don't ask me to update the list, because I'm just gonna wait for more characters to come. Potentially around anniversary time is when I'm gonna update all the lists again. So yeah, but yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys all in the next one. So take care, lads. Peace out. Bye. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao.